Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to my studio. I hope you enjoyed that hike in Monfragüe National Park. I did this hike on the 31st of October last year, 24. I had the chance to travel to Spain for Congress and kind of booked a day before and a day after. Done a little bit of research and I found out this national park, there's not much information on YouTube about it, and it's really quite a hidden gem. And so the reason I did it was push myself, to test myself. I'm relatively new at this, you know. I'm learning. I made a bunch of mistakes, which we'll get to in a minute. I went alone. I've done this by myself, so I had limited time. So what did I bring on the hike? I got everything you need for a day hike. So your backpack, comfortably fitted and strapped. All my camera gear, which is my iPhone, my tripod, my Insta360 X4. Yeah, I got myself some nice cured ham and cured cheeses from Spain. You can't miss those when you travel to Spain, so make sure you get them. Yeah, my Columbia shoes, light hiking gear, and I feel I was a bit overdressed, simply because the weather changed a little bit, or unexpectedly at least, as you can see in the video. Now, the trail conditions were really good. Everything's clearly laid out and well marked, and you know, you can't get lost. There's maps everywhere. I think Spain's done a really good job with it. Problem is, no one knows about it. It's not really being advertised. Now, one of the interesting things about the trail is that 2 weeks prior to me doing it, it had been raining non-stop, and so that land, which is close to the border in Portugal, it's like the driest land in Spain. So you'll see like droughts everywhere and water shortages and just burnt out vegetation. But because of the rain, you can see that all the trees were proper evergreen, the rivers flowing, animals everywhere, everything was mossy. And even the locals themselves told me, you know, this isn't the case, and they're very surprised. So it was a bit of a unique experience for me. Now, you might get lucky and find this at the end of October, beginning of November, which is where I've done it. So yeah, you might be able to catch the same thing. And how I adapted to that? Well, as a beginner, I taken my jacket, you know, put it on, taking it on, put it on, taking it on. It's a bit annoying. Now I have the right gear for that. But back then I was just starting. Yeah, at some points you really just have to watch your step, because you can step on a rock and it can be wet. You trust your shoes, you'd be like, yeah, I've got good traction, but the moss just kind of makes you slip. So yeah, just being careful from time to time not to fall, you know, and injure yourself. That's the last thing you want to do when, you know, injure yourself when you're in a solo hike. So yeah, those are kind of things and ways I adapted. I lost my water bottle. Thank God I had carried some water. I left some water in the car, and luckily enough, I planned to do a first circular route, come back to the car, resupply, and then start the longer hike. Yeah, you can see in the map, I've actually done like an 8 figure, and that's 21 kilometers walked. However, going back and forth between the camera, I probably hit 24 kilometers, but it was nice. I felt really good about it. You know, I was feeling healthy. Yeah. There were some moments where, you know, very challenging, especially in the second part after crossing that dam. I went up and down the mountainside. I try to show you the map right now, and that was very challenging because the vegetation was very low ceiling, so you could have like trees over you, but you had to duck a lot, and it was super humid. The air was like sticky. It was lovely, don't get me wrong, but I was completely drenched. You know, I had my green Nike top, and that usually, you know, the sweat dries really quickly. It wicks away, and not for me. No, that was the case. So what do I recommend? Probably just a very light tee, a light hoodie, and maybe a windbreaker. And make sure to open your jacket from time to time to let the moisture, the sweat evaporate. I don't have those problems anymore, but I did back then. And so those are some of the challenges I faced. And fair enough, you can talk about challenges and how you adapt. I mean, it's part of everyday life, it's part of the decision making and things that happen in the moment, and you have literally no control of how things go, and you're going to just be well prepared. But the highlights of this trail, however, One, it was the unexpected weather. It'd been raining a lot, so you had like rivers in full flow. That was a first for me because I've never done this to that point. So it was just beautiful. I don't know if you can hear the birds chirping right now, but at the moment you can hear them everywhere. The black vulture nest I found is crazy, and they were hunting when I got to the top. As I reached the top of the first mountain, which is like a national bird viewpoint, you can see all the birds. The views were incredible. And it wasn't just that, it was the fact that I got to the top and there was this standalone tree right in the edge, and I just stood next to it and I said, wow, I made it this far. I thought I wasn't fit enough for this. You know, at the time I had more weight on me, fat, not gear. and yeah, it was definitely a challenge. You know, I wasn't as fit to breathe, but I made it to the top. I remember looking and I said, this is what I should be doing. This is what I love. This is what I love about travel, about exploring. This is what I love about life. And it dawned on me, I wish my family and friends were here with me. And I'm really going to try to do everything I can to make sure things like that happen, or moments like that happen. And then on the way back, just the walk through the river, you know, the river stream was in full flow. You had these little bridges, these man-made trails, and then linking back to natural trails that just stunning, just in the moment things that you could, you know, you fall in love with looking up and around and being wrapped in awe and wonder. But then again, you could just as easily narrow down your focus and look down and just around you, and things are just crazy beautiful. Every single detail, every drop, a water drop. I might be melancholic, right, or poetic. I'm not. I don't think I'm that kind of guy. I'm a bit of a clown, right? But I just appreciate it at the moment. Then moving on to the second part of the trail, after having a coffee, whatnot, in the chiringuito, Spanish chiringuito, you know, Euro 50 coffee, quality coffee. If you know, you know. If you don't know, make sure you get one, right? Cortado, that's my drink, yeah? I love coffee. And then as I approached the largest water source there, the river, there was actually a dam, like all the way back. And it said trail closed, but I had like no way back. So I went over the do not cross sign, right? I'm naughty, I know. And as I approached the bridge, like all the stones were knocked over. I guess you can see in the video. Around the mountains, all the slate was kind of washed to the sides. Turns out there'd been a flash flood with all the rain, so much water, and it just flooded everything. And I have to say, I did get a little bit scared because I've seen The Good Dinosaur, I've seen The Lion King, we all know what happens. So it wasn't raining, water was calm. I looked around, I made my choice and I crossed, all right? Then reaching the castle was crazy, and these views were amazing. And obviously getting caught out in the night wasn't the sweetest of ideas, but it was an experience nonetheless. And I think I might do a night hike in the UK at some point, right? So be on the lookout for that. So I really can't recommend this hike enough. Whether you're doing it, you know, solo or with friends and family, it's really accessible. There's free parking, well laid out, and you actually get signal more in most of the trail. You know, make sure you download or draw your map in all trails, and I think you're good to go. All right. But that was now maybe 5 or 6 months ago. And you may not see it in the channel yet, but I've done lots and lots of trails in the UK, like local things. Yes, you might have this extravagant, you know, multi-day hike or multi-kilometer hike where you push your limits. But there are simple things, and simple things worth appreciating. And I just want to let you know that we have lots in store for this channel. Like, we have lots of content, and lots of content I'm really proud about, not just because of the way things look or they might be edited, but because of how it can help so many people. And just take one more step wherever they are, you know, whether you're working a 9 to 5, whether you're a family man like me and you have to take care of your kids, and maybe you have an extra responsibility of helping your child develop in his speech, in his walking, in his social skills, like we do, like my family and I do. I've integrated my kids into what I do, and my wife and my friends, and I'm really happy about it, and I can't wait to show you all of that. So if you're excited about that, and then about knowing how you can do this and be able to create content and walk and think, and every time you, I don't know, overwhelmed or stressed, go for a walk. because it just clears your head and helps you put your thoughts in order and understand that everything isn't at your reach at the moment, just to walk and build one step at a time. So I'm really happy about that. I can't wait to show you guys. And if you're watching this, I really want to thank you for your support. I want to thank you for being on this journey with me and with my family, and just seeing how much further you can go. Yeah, so if you want and if you can, you can support the channel literally right now by just liking and sharing or subscribing to the channel. Maybe writing your comment. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think about it? I'll leave all the relevant information in the description, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep moving forward, one more step. See ya.